Hello and welcome to a TB3 special edition, TB3 University. And we're talking about the most wonderful time of the year. Maybe you guys are thinking about Christmas, but we're thinking about bowl season because we got two teams that we covered. They're going bowling, big games in the area, across the country. USF Bulls going to Hawaii, going to be a fun time for the players. The Florida Gators are coming to Tampa, and that'll be a fun time for our Tampa residents that are Florida Gators fans. And yeah, bowl games all around. First round of the college football playoff. I was looking at that slate, and I was getting excited to watch some college football on Saturday and all week this week. So, Will, how are we feeling about this college football bowl season?
I'm feeling great. This is probably the best episode ever. This is the Bowl Mania episode where we cover every single bowl game. Even if you don't want to hear it, we're going to do it anyway. I don't know how many bowl games there are now. I lose count every single year. But it's pretty awesome. I'd just like to say, Merry Bolmas. Merry Bolmas. Are we going to have a correspondent from TB3 at the Gasparilla Bowl?
It won't be me.
Really?
It's Friday. It's Friday afternoon.
3:30.
I can't swing it. It's a weird
so
time.
Early.
Yeah, I think we got screwed over because of the playoff game being on Friday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is what it is. Unfortunately, I won't be corresponding. We may have some correspondent.
Luke?
Maybe. We'll see. Well, Luke has the same problem. Well, Luke works the same time as I do on Friday, so that'll be a problem. But, I've already been to a Gasparilla Bowl with the Gators, and it kind of was traumatizing for me. So maybe it's best if I watch on TV.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I think we should start, like we always do, we start out with your USF Bulls because they are going to be playing in the Hawaii Bowl Christmas Eve at 8 p.m. going across the country. Obviously, this kind of comes off the back of USF losing their last game of the season to Rice, making them fall to 6-6 instead of have that 7-5 record. And that led to USF getting a non-P4 opponent. However, San Jose State is pretty darn good. They're 7-5 on the year. They're coming off a big win against their now new rival, I guess, with all the conference realignment, the Stanford Cardinal. They beat them 34-31. And, San Jose State and the Mountain West, they've had some tough teams. Mountain West has been pretty good this year. Losses to Boise State, obviously a playoff team, lost to UNLV, a top 25 ranked opponent, losses to Washington State in double overtime, pretty crazy game. That's obviously been a team that's been ranked throughout this year. So San Jose State, pretty solid team. USF going across the country. And, what are we looking for in this game for USF?
What I look at for USF is shutting down a high-powered offense that likes to air it out under coach, before I butcher it, Ken Niumatalolo.
Nice job.
Hawaii native. He wants to come home. He wants to put on a show for the fam. He's going to have a lot of family there, probably.
For sure.
It's going to be an important game for him. And what we've seen from San Jose State this entire year is they love to pass the ball. The big news, however, probably the biggest news that really, for me, decided how I think this game would play out, it appears that star wide receiver, I believe it's Nick Nash, he will not be playing.
Wow.
He will be focusing on the NFL draft. That's a huge, huge loss for San Jose State, and that really affects how they're going to move the ball because they had one of the best passing offenses in all of the NCAA. Now you take that guy out, you don't know what their offense is going to look like. So I think that's the biggest thing for this USF Bulls defense, to shut down their passing attack. And it's going to be a little bit of a struggle because Tafiq Bayard has entered the transfer portal, one of the stars in that secondary for USF. But I think they're going to rise to the occasion. I really do.
Yeah, Nick Nash not being there. If you guys are unfamiliar with him, I think he got a lot of name recognition this last week because he was kind of snubbed from the Bolitnikov. Travis Hunter won it. But Nick Nash, he won the triple crown for receivers. It was receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He led the country in all of these categories. And this guy, they gave him the ball a lot and often. A lot of his work was done after the catch. So he's a spectacular player. I wish nothing but the best. Maybe a late round steal for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers late in the draft. That would be fun.
There's
slot
any
receiver
I want, man.
Yeah, but he might be gone. I don't know if
Tetero, McMillan.
But I don't know if he's going in top 10, so I don't even know if we'll be.
You
high
think
enough
he'll
to
go top 10?
He'll go first round. I don't know about top 10, but he's gonna go high.
Just think of McMillan combo.
That would be
After
sick.
Evans is old and retired, you have Jalen and Tetero.
McMillan squared, we call him. That'd be fun. But yeah, high-powered offense, like Will mentioned. They throw the ball a lot, and this is gonna be a challenge for USF, but a key part of USF on the other side of the football is it looks and it appears as if Byron Brown will be returning to play. We've seen a lot of clips and, talk about Byron Brown practicing these last few weeks for bowl practices. I even saw a clip of my two favorite people, Byron Brown, Deshaun Atkins, in practice. Got me fired up. So I think we are very likely to see, USF's quarterback back, which is good because, there was a lot of rumbles about potentially Byron Brown entering the transfer portal. Obviously, backup, quarterback in waiting, Israel Carter entered the transfer portal, which was a little bit.
That was a blow.
That was a blow. That really hurt. And Bryce Archie has been lackluster, is, kindly, I think is a good word to put. And but yeah, Byron Brown, he seems like he's going to play in this bowl game. It seems like he's going to be coming back next year. So this is going to be a great test to see if, this kind of mediocrity of the USF offense, if that's a product of Brown being off the field or if that's a product of bigger issues.
Yeah, I need a minute. I really do, because I just realized you said Sean Atkins.
Oh, man.
It's his last game.
It's his last game.
Suiting up for the green and gold.
Did we get to talk about his hug with Gold? We did. We talked about his hug with Golesh at Senior Day. That was awesome. Man. Yeah, that was awesome. What a guy. I really do hope he gets a shot in the NFL.
See, that's our slot right there.
I would love it.
We're talking Bucks football.
Dude, I would love it.
That's a gritty, gym rat, electric, student of the game.
We need slot receivers. We need a slot receiver, so that would be electric. I would love that.
At least give him a chance.
Yeah, and I mean, for this game, a lot of these older players, it's going to be interesting to see, like Kelly Joyner, Naquan Wright,
Jalen Shuler.
Yeah, send these guys
Hawthorne.
out. Yeah, send these guys out on a high note. You mentioned Tawfiq Bayard, going to the transfer portal. I think this will be a very, revamped USF defense. We've already seen them get active in the transfer portal on that side of the football. But a lot of these guys are staying and playing in this bowl game. I'm thinking about Rucker, DeCaris Hawthorne. These guys, they are playing. Doug Blue Eli, he's transferring. He won't be there. But you got
kind of seemed like he had a foot out the door anyway.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But I do think Jahari Grant, he'll be there, and he's going to look to be a big part of the team next year. But yeah, this is going to be a new look USF defense next year, and I think it's a good audition for some of these younger players because as we've gone down the stretch, I think some of these younger players on defense and offense have been very impressive. And as they get more and more playing time, I think that is the future of USF Bulls football, and that will be a good thing to see if these younger players will be able to step up and give us fans some hope going into next year for the 2025 USF Bulls.
Yeah, I think, I still say, give me more playoffs. Give me more teams with an opportunity to win it all. I look at the FCS model. I sent it to you guys. I sent it to the TB3 group chat of what the playoff would look like if it was like the FCS model. I would say do it right now. I'd cut off my left arm and give that up so we could have that. But, we're not there yet. But bowl games are still important. And it's like you said, getting a chance to see these young guys play. And, those bowl practices, the coaches love them a ton and they want to use them. And to see, if they can develop some guys a little bit longer than what they'd have in the regular season. And, it gives the opportunities for some of the commits and, early signing guys to come in and get some practices in too. So it's super important. I'm excited to see some young faces make some plays in this game.
Yeah, and I'm really looking for a big output for USF's offense. I think that's the part of the ball that's been most disappointing this year. I think the defense took a step forward, but the offense unfortunately took a step back. And looking at it, we saw the output that they gave in the Boca Raton Bowl last year against Syracuse. Huge defensive performance, huge offensive performance. That's kind of what I'm looking for here. San Jose State, obviously, Mountain West team. They're a good team, but they're not a P4 team. USF is looking to become a contender out of the Group of 5 into the playoffs and hopefully go into becoming a Power 4 program. And I think USF has to show that with their talent. Again, Alex Golesh, another pretty impressive recruiting class as through early signing day, the second in all of Group of 5 and top 60, I want to say, in the country. Very, very impressive. Transfer portal has been good in the last couple of days. That's what I'm trying to say. I couldn't think of the phrase I was thinking, but the transfer portal has been really good. Got some beef up front. I saw some beef up front.
A
on the
lot
O-line.
of O-linemen.
Yes,
some
which is
familiar
huge.
faces too coming back.
Yeah,
so.
huge to see the O-line come back. So that would be nice. But yeah, I think seeing a big offensive output, especially if Byron Brown comes back to play, is what I'm looking for in this game. I'm looking for the rushing attack, the quarterback run to get involved, Joyner, Naquan Wright, these guys to just have these big rushes and maybe even get, Singleton, Michael Brown-Stevens, Sean Atkins, get these guys, involved deep down the field and show us the USF offense that we were looking to see all of 2024, that we saw in 2023, and that we're hoping to see in 2025.
Yeah, I agree. I think the offense, I'm really looking forward to them. And I think, even if Byron Brown doesn't end up playing or if it's Bryce Archie, I still have faith that Archie can deliver. I think, obviously, he struggled when he took over, but he did get better. He got a lot better towards the end. I know the Rice game kind of puts a damper in it because as a team, they looked terrible.
That was a total team loss.
Total team failure.
Yeah.
And that was just an upsetting way to end the season, but I still think overall Archie got better, so I think we can see that happen. I think, especially when you look at the San Jose State defense, they're not the best defense USF has played against. They're certainly not Alabama or Miami or Tulane or even Memphis. They're certainly not that good. They're not as bad, though, as Charlotte or FAU or anything like that. So they're all right. They're nothing special. I think a huge thing is they've had a lot of guys from their defensive back room leave for the transfer portal, so that could be something that benefits USF, especially if Archie ends up playing. You're going to have an experienced young secondary for San Jose State, and maybe you can exploit that. I want to say as far as scoring defense, they're 80th in all college football of FBS, which is 133 teams. So they're not the greatest in that. So I think USF can really dominate on offense. A lot of people are saying, a lot of the experts are saying this could be a shootout, but I really think just this is the one issue with college football is a lot of teams leave and you're really not getting the same teams once you get to these bowl games. But I think that's going to work out for USF's benefit.
Yeah, I think so too. A lot of like Will said, a lot of players that played all year for USF are still there playing for this bowl game. Very impressive. Speaks to the culture that Alex Golesh is building, down in South Florida. So that'll be very, very cool to see, and hopefully we can see that translate in the game. I do have a good news. We've kind of talked on this show before about USF's losing streak against not Power 5, against FBS teams with winning records. And San Jose State comes to this game 7-5 FBS team. So if USF wins this game, they will get their first win against the FBS team that has a winning record since 2019. It's been a long time. So this is a great opportunity to finally get that monkey off their back. It's something that, when I found out about that streak, I've been looking for USF to break it all season long. They haven't done it. They've only really beaten the teams they're supposed to beat. So looking for USF to break that streak. That'll be some chains that have been broken for me personally. Should we predict it?
Yeah, I think we're ready to predict. Yeah, just don't forget Christmas Eve. Maybe you're working that day, or maybe you have a awkward family party you got to go to, and make sure you can plan an escape or record the game no matter what you're doing on Christmas Eve. It's 8:00 p.m. ESPN. A nice little primetime slot, man. Some national attention for sure. So don't forget that game. I'll go first. I really think USF has this game in the bag. I think, it's just I feel like San Jose State is too decimated. Nick Nash not playing. If that's 100% true, I just don't see how they're going to be able to recover from that. I think USF wins 40-27.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think there's just too many, ifs for San Jose State. I think their best player not playing obviously is a huge, plus for USF. So I'm kind of right there with you. I'm kind of right there with you with the score. I think I'll go 45-31. USF wins. I think we're going to see a big offensive output from this Alex Golesh-led offense.
Here we go.
So again, horns up. Christmas Eve, 8 p.m. Watch the USF Bulls. Let's go into 2025 feeling positive. Let's get to the next level USF next year in 2025.
Horns up, tridents down.
Dang straight. As we look ahead, the Florida Gators are also going bowling, finishing their season 7-5. Finishing it with a huge win against the lowly Florida State Seminoles. You know what that means? Our show's order will be different next year. Florida will be going last. Feels good to be doing that after a year of going.
About just a year.
After just a year, but I mean, you know how it is. It felt like an eternity since we've beaten FSU, especially on the show when I got an FSU fan next to me. And yeah, so Florida finished their season off on a 3-game winning streak, 7-5, and they get rewarded with the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. That is obviously in Tampa and Raymond James Stadium. Beautiful Raymond James Stadium. Hoping to see a good, showing from Gator Nation. I'm sure it will be. I don't know how Tulane fans will travel. But yeah, Tulane, 9-4. We know them well as USF fans, an American Conference team. They actually made it to the American Championship, lost to Army. But they kind of finished their season off in a sputter. They got to 9-2. They were looking like one of the better teams in the group of 5. They were even talks of, if something shook up weird, like, Tulane, maybe they're the ones that jump a Big 12 team, or maybe they're the ones who jump Boise State if they lose, stuff like that. But Tulane finished their season off on the 2-game losing streak, losing to Memphis at home, and then losing on the road in the American Championship game to Army. And to make things worse, their star quarterback, Darian Mensah, entered the transfer portal. We actually know that he's going to Duke now, which is a pretty big pickup for Manny Diaz, young head coach, building that Duke Blue Devils program up. But yeah, so this will be quarterback Ty Thompson will be playing for the Tulane Green Wave. But an interesting fact is Ty Thompson is also planning on going into the transfer portal, so this will be his last game with Tulane, a little bit of an audition for the teams that might be picking him up in the transfer portal. So that's a weird, 2024 college football or college football moment, so that'll be interesting. For Florida, a lot of good signs going into next year. You look at the seniors, guys like Taquez Bridges, guys like Cam Jackson. These guys are seniors, potential NFL talents maybe, middle to late rounds, and these guys are going to be playing. As for the transfer portal, only a couple guys that are worth noting have entered the transfer portal. So you're going to be seeing a Florida Gators team that is pretty similar to the team that you saw win 3 games in a row to finish off the season. Obviously, if you're in Tampa and you haven't seen DJ Lagway in person, go see him, man. It's going to be electric. You get to see the future Heisman winner in your own Raymond James Stadium. But yeah, I do think that Florida's in a great position to win this game. Obviously, have the pedigree against the SEC teams, Tulane, a bunch of people in the portal, especially their starting quarterback. But I don't know, how do you feel about this game, Will?
Yeah, I mean, I think Darian Mensah, the loss is what I would say to be insurmountable for Tulane, and especially just an ugly way to end their season. I thought they'd put up a way better fight against Army. They ended up getting embarrassed, getting upset by Memphis just before the conference championship too. I think this team is sputtering. I think it's a good thing that their coach Summerall's coming back, so it might give them some life. But I feel like as a team, they're spiraling. I think there's really be no chance that Florida fumbles this game away. I really don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Florida, 13-point favorites. Is he playing? Is Mekhi Hughes playing for Tulane, sophomore? I don't know. I'm trying to look. I don't exactly know who's in the portal, who's not. It's hard to keep up with all that stuff. But yeah, I really do think you want to see the seniors go out right. You want to, again, finishing the season off on a 4-game winning streak to go 8 wins on this gauntlet of a schedule would be pretty massive for Florida. I think a lot of Florida fans were kind of hoping for a bigger time matchup in their bowl game. It is what it is, man. You're 7-5. You gotta take who you get. This is a 9-win team that had some big games, had some close games against P4 teams. Had some big wins. Again, we're top 20 ranked for a long time in this season, but kind of imploded. But yeah, I think, as for the game, you want to see, obviously, the Florida Gators rushing attack get going. Montrell Johnson, this will be his last game as a Florida Gator. Want to see him go out right. It was good to see him get that long touchdown against FSU. That was a fun. This guy has given a lot for this program. He's stuck it out. Had some good years. Really, one of the staples of the Billy Napier era if this stays. So you want to see him go out right. Jaden Baugh, Jacoby Jackson, obviously those young guys will be coming back, so you want to appease them, but you really want to go right by Montrell Johnson. Offensive wise, Chimere Dike, Elijah Badger, these are their last games as a Gator. Obviously, not as much history. They're only 1 year from transfer portal, but still want to get them the ball, want to get the seniors to go out right, want to get DJ Lagway some confidence. For me, watching DJ Lagway, I'd like to see him improve on the intermediate throws. I think that's something he struggled with, especially against FSU. That was definitely not his best game. So I'd like to see the Florida Gators offense and especially DJ Lagway connect better on those intermediate throws to kind of give this passing attack a more balanced, look. Because, we know he has a deep ball, but going into next year, if you want to be a legit, college football playoff contender, you got to be able to throw the ball in all quarters of the field, all aspects, all places, hit the deep shots, but also hit the 10 to 12-yard throws down the middle. And I think DJ Lagway, still a true freshman, he will improve to get that, but that's what I'm looking for from him in this game. Defensive-wise, just keep it up, man. Secondary, looking for healthy, maybe Devin Moore plays, Dijon Johnson, hopefully to see the corners healthy. Defensive line, I want to see them feast, let the young guys get there, rotate them, no one get hurt, stuff like that. Linebackers, Shamar James, Miles Graham, just excited to see those guys play. Sharif Denson, Aaron Gates was out that last game, hoping to see him. So basically, I'm just excited to see a healthy Florida Gators defense, hopefully with this time off. And, looking for a really good Lagway game to go in the next year, just for some momentum.
We ready to predict?
Let's predict it, man.
Yeah, I just think it would probably take a miracle for Tulane to win. I think that it'd just be way too hard to recover from how their season ended. I think probably, I'm probably going to say like 45-21, the Gators win. So, yeah, I think, for these smaller schools, the bowl games mean a lot more. But I think Tulane had higher expectations where they were in the AAC and whatnot. In Florida, this is their best season in the Napier era. So, yeah, I think Florida wins pretty easily.
Yeah, I think it's kind of the same thing as USF. I think full strength, this would be a pretty good game. I still think I would take the Gators currently full strength against a full-strength Tulane team just based on the way Florida ended the season against some, top 25 caliber teams. But obviously, Tulane has lost more than Florida has in this period before the bowl game. I think that's kind of the story of a lot of these bowl games, like who's losing who's in the portal. How much strength does each team have is going to really determine these bowl games, unfortunately, at this point, which is sad. I think we're only a matter of time for a lot of these bowl games to go away, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Make them playoff games. Do something.
March Madness, college football edition. But, yeah, I think Florida will win this one too. I think I'll go Florida 38, Tulane 15. I think that'll be your final score.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now we're going to move ahead to previewing the college football playoff teams this weekend.
Yeah, and I am absolutely stoked. I just looking at the matchups, man. Can you really tell me any single game that you're like 100% confidence in? Like, this team's going to beat the other?
I think Texas is going to beat Clemson.
You're 100% sure? Like,
I'm obviously not 100. It's college football. It's parity. We got a parity-filled season, but I'm 95.
In my opinion, I think all these games could be a toss-up.
No, they could be. Clemson 100%. Has been playing good ball. Dabo Swinney used a transfer portal for a receiver, so who knows? They might be getting freaky down there in Clemson, in Death Valley. But, yeah, I think it starts off – I know. It starts off Friday night, the Battle of Indiana, which is just so fun. I love that. The Indiana Hoosiers headed into South Bend, to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. It's going to be cold. It's going to be, full of Indianians. I don't even know what that's going to look like. I don't even know how heat of a rivalry this is. They don't play very often, but, in-state.
They're pretty tough in basketball, I think. I think as far as, basketball rivalry, there's something there, but football,
they never play.
Couldn't tell you last time they ever played.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. It will be fun. I'm sure a plenty amount of Indiana fans will travel. Not that far of a thing. First, year of success in football.
Mm-hmm. This is
a fun game. This is going to be a gritty matchup, low scoring. I don't know what are you looking for in this game between Indiana and Notre Dame.
See, I don't know. I think I could see it going both ways. I think it could be a gritty game, but also I think they could be throwing haymakers, trading it off with each other. You just look at how Notre Dame, especially with USC, who I know Lincoln Riley's a big offensive guy, but USC was able to hang in there with them, put up a lot of points. I think Indiana is also very good at putting up points. So I could honestly see this game, going back and forth for a little bit. Maybe the whichever defense, probably Notre Dame, I'd say they have the better defense. They probably rise to the occasion and slow it down towards the end. But I think we could be in for a long night with that one.
Yeah, I think the key to this game is, can Indiana stop Notre Dame's rushing attack? Jeremiah Love is really, really good. We've seen Notre Dame, get the run game going against even Texas A&M early on in the season, and that's a great rushing defense. Like you said, Notre Dame USC was a shootout, but at the end, Notre Dame's defense made the plays. Notre Dame marched up and down the field, so I think that rushing attack has been a huge key to Notre Dame's offense. Riley Leonard's been running the ball a lot, so that dual threat aspect has been hard. And with a snowy game, cold hands, the ball might not be thrown down the field as much. I said snowy, I meant cold, but it could be snowing. We don't know.
Could be.
So you definitely want to see, can Indiana stop that rushing attack? And I just don't know if they can. I'm going to look. I'm going to see how many yards did Ohio State rush for. They ran for 115, so that's a pretty good rushing attack. 4 yards per rush for Ohio State. So the precedent is Indiana should be able to stop that rushing attack. I think Notre Dame's probably a little bit better, but can Indiana, if they can slow down the rushing attack, I think this will be a gritty, tough, close game, and that's what Indiana wants. They want to keep it close, stay in the game for as long as they can, and then you like your chances at the end. You just got to go win that ball game. Another key is against Ohio State. I'm just basing this off because that was Indiana's hardest game, their only loss. Just against Ohio State, Indiana, they had two key special teams errors. They had a blocked punt and they had a punt return touchdown for Ohio State, which was a complete mishap by the punter. He completely punted it to the wrong side of the field, outkicked his coverage, stuff like that. So can they limit mistakes? Can they stay away from that? That'll be key, because last game the special teams mistakes kind of got them out of the game. They were playing tough in that first half, and then the big plays kind of took them out of the game. So can they limit those mistakes on special teams is a huge key for Indiana.
Do you know what their opponent is? They have one.
Let me look.
It's Purdue.
It's Purdue, and they both smoked them.
They both. Notre Dame beat them 66-7, and then
66-0.
Indiana beat them 66-0. So hey, it's about
Indiana,
as close as you could get, man.
That's crazy. Yeah, Purdue stunk this year. They got Barry Odom now from UNLV.
Yeah,
Dan
that's
Mullen's
a good
going
hire.
to UNLV. Crazy. That'll be
I
fun.
think that could
that'll
be
fun.
fun.
No, I'm right there with you. I think it'll be very fun. But yeah, I think for this game, can Indiana stop Notre Dame's rushing attack? Young Rourke, can he make some plays in the air? I think he's a pretty solid quarterback, but is he going to be able to win them the game with a couple throws that are plus throws? I don't know. For me, I ready to predict.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think Indiana will be able to do that. I think the rushing attack for Notre Dame is pretty big. I am pretty high on Notre Dame right now. I think we'll be talking about it for the continuous weeks to come as the playoff gets deeper and deeper. But I'm pretty high on Notre Dame. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game. I'll say 26-13. Notre Dame wins this game.
See, I've gone back and forth on this, and I really wanted to come in and pick an upset, and I think that's what's going to happen. I think Indiana comes away with the win here.
Really?
I really do. I just think their style of play. I think Notre Dame, have they really been battle-tested all year? Have they really been battle-tested? You can flash back all the way to week 1 against Texas A&M. They get a huge win there. But as far as the rest of their schedule goes, I just think Indiana by far has a tougher schedule. They still come out with 11 wins. I think they're going to – if there's any upset, I think it's going to be Indiana. And I think they win 34-31.
Fair enough. Hey, I could see it going both ways. I'm just a little bit to foreshadow. I think this won't be the only game Notre Dame wins. But, yeah, that's your first game. Headed to Saturday where we have a full slate, 3 games. Interesting thing, which Can we talk about the fact that we might get Kevin Harlan calling a college football playoff game? Is
That's
that going to
awesome.
happen?
I hope so.
Because it's on TNT and Max, and he's with those guys.
Yeah, I saw that too, and I was wondering like who's going to be the announcer.
If it's Kevin Harlan,
If they
that's
just throw
electric.
ESPN guys on there, I'm going to be upset.
No, they won't do that. I don't think they can do that.
Well, you never know. They can do stupid stuff.
They can do stupid stuff, but I really hope it's Kevin Harlan. Maybe like Brian Anderson. Oh, it'd be electric stuff, or Ian Eagle. Oh yeah. But noon. SMU, the last team in, heads to Penn State. It'll be a whiteout. It'll be electric atmosphere. And, I mean, Will, what are we looking for in this game, SMU at Penn State?
Yeah, I really think SMU's got to get the ball rolling. I think especially when you look back to the ACC championship game and the way they struggled. What an epic comeback, to get all the way back and have it come down to a super long field goal. I think that's commendable, especially how bad they started. But you can't get away with that in Happy Valley against Penn State. I just think, I'm not a big believer in James Franklin. Never have been, never will be. He's guaranteed to lose you big games, but I think, Penn State is one of those, the way it's set up, they have a shot to go far, unfortunately. They really do. And I just think their defense is too good. Their offense looks pretty phenomenal, if you ask me, against Oregon. And I think they're just going to be too tough for SMU.
Yeah, I think the strong start is so important, not only because we just saw SMU get off to a slow start, but on the road, Penn State, one of the loudest places to play in all of college football, that home playoff environment, do not want to lose a game at home. So for SMU, you're going to get an initial punch from Penn State. You're going to get a good punch from Penn State just based on the energy, the lack of big wins, the confidence, looking at their path. Like Will said, this is a legitimate path to get to the championship without any hiccups. At least get to the semifinal pretty easy. And so if SMU can survive that initial punch and not make it a knockout punch, I do think as the game wears on, not 3 letters, not USF. If SMU can, their quarterback Jennings is a really good player, dual threat. If they can get the rushing game going, if they can force some turnovers, which they've done pretty well this season, I think SMU can stay in this game. They got a lot of talent. I think a lot of people want to write off this team. I think SMU has a lot of talent. They won their conference 2 years in a row, is it not? I mean, in the regular season, right? They won the American 2 years ago. So I do think if they can, surviving the initial punch is the most important thing for SMU. What will the score look like, after the first quarter? Will they still be in the game? And then, as that game gets later and later, James Franklin, the ghost of his past of losing big games will, creep up. Maybe if the game's tied or they're down in the fourth quarter, maybe those Penn State fans start booing. Like, that is something that literally can happen. So, as for Penn State, I think we've seen the exquisite offense from him. We've seen the really good defense in games like Illinois, in games like Ohio State, and we've seen the offense against Oregon, against USC. We can they put together a complete football game? That's really the thing with Penn State, because they have all the talent. They have the quarterback with the talent. They have the defense. They have the offense. They have the playmakers. They have one of the best tight ends and one of the best running backs in the country. They have everything they need to win it all. Can they play a complete game of football when it needs to be played? Is the question, and it's never been proven under James Franklin. So, I guess we'll see. Any other keys?
Yeah, I really think. I think it just comes down to that defense. Can SMU stop that Penn State pass rush? And I really struggle. Looking at how Clemson was against them in the pass rush, I really struggle to find any way that SMU can come out of this alive. Unfortunately, I think SMU's a good team. They just got a bad draw, to be honest with you, and I just think Penn State's gonna come out with this pretty easily. So yeah, I guess I think it'll be a low-scoring game now. It's just Penn State's MO. Although, the Big Ten championship shocked me.
That was so surprising on all
that just
levels.
didn't seem real.
It didn't.
That Penn State could put up 37.
Yeah.
I still don't know if that happened.
Yeah, and I'm shocked they gave up 45. I really am. When Penn State loses, they don't lose like that. It was a weird game.
That's just typical, though. They score all those points, but then they still lose.
They would. Yeah, that would happen to them. You're right.
But I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. It's going to be bitterly cold. There could be snow in that one, too, actually. I think it snowed, yesterday or something there, so. I think Penn State's going to win 23-10.
Okay. I'm kind of on the opposite end of you. I think it's going to be more high scoring. I think SMU, first half they might be able to keep it close, but I think Penn State will pull away. I think at rushing attack, Kayshawn Singleton is really good. Like you said, the pass rush is going to be hard to handle. If SMU wins, they're going to need a gargantuan effort from their quarterback, Mr. Jennings. But I don't think they will. I think Penn State's going to win this one 38-20. I think they're going to continue their scoring ways. As for the next game, 4 p.m., this is another game that is on TNT. And this one is Texas and Clemson. Clemson heads to DKR. Going to be a raucous environment. Probably the best, team, the 5th seed, the best team that's playing this weekend. Allegedly, we don't know for sure. And Clemson's coming off their biggest win of the season. Cade Klubnik has had a pretty underrated season this year. I saw some of his stats. He's had a pretty good year. Clemson has those wide receivers that can get open one-on-one on the outside. But Texas, man, Steve Sarkisian, Quinn Ewers, Isaiah Bond. I was blanking on his name. Isaiah Bond. This defense, they have a lot of talent. This could be pound for pound one of the most talented teams in the whole country. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking on this game?
Yeah, I think this one for me, it's like I'm going back and forth, and I really, it really just depends on what teams, what version of Clemson comes out there, what version of Texas comes out there. Especially, I think it comes down to the quarterback battle. Who's going to outplay the other? Who's going to outdo the other? I think you look at somebody like Quinn Ewers, where he looks like he's got all the tools, rocket arm, precision passing. He's got all those traits, and then he'll still make stupid decisions. You look at the SEC championship, some of his decision making is just mind-boggling. You just don't understand. You go, this guy could either be the first overall pick or Mr. Irrelevant. Like, I really don't know where to put him. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing. What quarterback outperforms the best? I think, obviously, you look at Texas. They have a high-scoring offense, high-powered offense. They got all the studs on there. They recruit very well. But Clemson, on the other hand, very disciplined, very physical. Clemson's going to give you a good game. At least if they play up to what they can, they should give you a good game. And I just think it's going to be a battle of the quarterbacks who outduels the other.
Yeah, I agree. I think these are two really solid quarterbacks. There's been a lot of stories circulating around Quinn Ewers because it seems like Texas will be going with Arch Manning next year, and Quinn Ewers is not sure if he wants to go to the NFL or do another year in college, so we might see Quinn Ewers on a different college next year. But I don't think that's going to matter. I think Texas is experienced enough to kind of block out that noise. For me, I think a key to this game is can Texas execute in the red zone? That is what's in their losses against Georgia. That's what they've struggled with. They have not been able to execute in the red zone, especially in the SEC championship. They came away with 3 way too many times, and it was a problem. And for Clemson is can they force turnovers? In their start against SMU, when they got up 24-7, they forced 2 turnovers in that span against SMU, and that was a huge swing for them. And in a short field, they can execute. Like Will mentioned, they are a solidly coached team. You're going to get a good shot. Dabo Swinney is great in the college football playoff. He probably has one of the best records out of any coaches. He might have the best. I don't have the numbers on that, but this guy has won 2 national championships in the playoff era, beating tough teams, beating tough Alabama teams. So they're going to give him a good game, on the road. But can Clemson, force a turnover to stay in the game? I think that's the key for me. And can Texas execute in the red zone? And I think it comes down to those little things because, while I do think Texas is going to win this game, I think Texas is a better team. Both these teams have enough talent. Clemson might not use the transfer portal, but they recruit 4 and 5 stars. They get good players in their program, and Texas obviously is one of the most talented, in the country. Execution is so prevalent in the games when there's so much talent and there's not a disparity. But I do think with Sarkisian calling plays, I think Texas, in my opinion, Georgia owns them. I don't think that the team that we've seen in these Georgia games is the team that Texas is. I think that's just kind of, smart own Sarkisian in that way. And then if they play Texas again, they're going to have to figure it out. But they might if they play Georgia again, they might have to figure it out. But they might be able to avoid it. But to me, I think that, Texas is a really good team, one of the best in the country, and I think they're going to win this game. I think they'll win it pretty handily, I would say 34-21. Texas is going to win this one.
Yeah. I think, Dabo Swinney, like you said, he's a winner. A lot of people, have kind of written him off because of the way he handles the transfer portal and the way he just kind of leaves recruiting up to the Lord, if you know what I mean. But he's a winner, and Clemson might struggle. They might not have the best guys. They might not be super flashy, but he finds ways to win. And I think a big red flag for Texas is if you're getting into the fourth quarter of this game and it's tied or you're down. And that's when it would be time to hit the panic button. But I do think Texas just has enough to win this game. It probably will be ugly. It might even be Texas's toughest game all the way down because they got a pretty easy road too. So I just think, I think Texas will win. I think it's going to be super, super close. So I'm going to say like 27-24 Texas.
Wow, that's a close one.
Mm-hmm.
Final game, the flashiest matchup for sure. Tennessee heads into the Horseshoe to play against Ohio State, 8 p.m. ESPN. I'm sure Kirk and Chris will be on the call. Man, this is a really good game. I think there's a lot of factors. I don't know what's your number one factor in this game.
I think Ohio State's defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be the deciding factor of this game. I'm not so like out of all of them, this is one I'm most confident with my pick, to be honest with you.
Really?
And again, I feel like with all these, I could be wrong on every single one.
For sure.
I think, and that's what I wanted. I wanted something like this, where you don't feel super confident about any pick you make. There's way too many variables and stuff like that. But I think with what you're saying, like with what you said about Texas and Georgia, is kind of how I feel about Ohio State with Michigan. I think they got a lot of negativity. Michigan was the ones who kind of started the day, the WWE, SmackDown brawls, scrums. They started that with the flag planting, and it looks really bad on Ryan Day and this and that. And Michigan wasn't the best team this year, but I just think that Michigan has Ohio State's number. They've had for the last 4 years, and Ohio State has still been a good team. They've still been right there in all of the games, all the big time games. So I really think they're a much better team than I feel like kind of the perception is of them right now. And I think their defense is just going to be too much for Tennessee to handle.
Yeah. For me, I think this is the most important quarterback battle out of all of them, because I think that these are two quarterbacks that can go either way. I mean, you look at Nico. I'm not even going to try to say his last name for Tennessee.
Iamaleava.
Yep. There we go. I'm a leaving. He's been so inconsistent. I mean, he starts out fantastically, has a big game against NC State, but obviously we know now NC State is not very good. I think 10 touchdown passes and 9 were in the first 3 games for like the longest time this season, some stat like that. And then you look at Will Howard. I think you could call him the number one factor in their loss against Michigan. I really do. I think he played terrible. Obviously, throwing that pick, in their own red area, was massive for Michigan. And I just don't know. Both these quarterbacks, have the talent. We've seen them produce, against lesser teams. But which one's going to rise to the occasion? I think Nico in big games has not been great. He's made some plays, but it's really been that rushing attack and that Tennessee defense. And both these defenses are really good. Ohio State, pound for pound, really, really good defense. You got Downs. You got all these guys on Ohio State's defense. These guys, they're really good. They're going to stop the run. I said they're going to stop the run, but can they actually stop the run? Because you see Michigan, had a one-dimensional offense, and it was running the ball. And they still were able to get some gashing runs. And, Dylan Sampson's a really, really good player for Tennessee. With that tempo, we're kind of familiar with it, watching USF all the time. That's where it came from, was Tennessee. With that tempo, the gashing runs, can Tennessee kind of, suck the life out of this Ohio State team? I think that's, what their game plan is going to be is, extend the game, run the ball, and if Will Howard can't throw the ball, this Tennessee defense is good enough where they won't move the ball. This Tennessee defense is really, really good.
Yeah, but I just think it goes back to my point where Michigan has their number, and I think the reason why Will Howard struggled in that game is because they weren't playing Ohio State football. I think they were tired of getting bullied by Michigan. They thought this was their year that they could pounce on a Michigan, underperform 7-5 and whatnot. And I thought Ohio State really tried to bully them in that game and try to pound them with the run and didn't really utilize their offense that they've been doing all year. I think you have somebody like Jeremiah Smith, who might be the best wide receiver in all of the country, and I just think you didn't utilize your weapons in that game against Michigan. I think you tried to just be a bully, and it didn't work. That's not your offense. So I think you're going to see a different game plan because I don't think Will Howard's the best quarterback, but I certainly don't think he's as bad as what he looked like in Michigan. And I think the same thing with what you said about Imaleva. I really, really love that guy coming out of high school. I mean, he looked phenomenal in all the film I saw of him. And then, he gets to Tennessee, and it hasn't really been as special as I thought it would be. And, again, I just think going up against a team like Ohio State, it's not going to bode well. I don't think up front Tennessee matches up well against them. Even if they have a good running game in the SEC, I mean, the Big Ten is it's a slow, big up front, physical type of football that I just don't know Tennessee can match with.
Yeah, that'll be the key, is can Ohio State stop the run. But I do think, I think the play calling was horrible. I completely agree for Ohio State against Michigan on the offensive side of the ball. But why were they calling those plays? Was it to set a tone, to prove a point, or was it because they didn't quite trust Will Howard to make the throws and they didn't want to lose the game on the back of Will Howard? That's what we're going to find out in this game. That's what we're going to find out. But if you roll out that same game plan you rolled out against Michigan, you're not going to move the ball in Tennessee. So Chip Kelly has to do a better job offensively calling the plays, getting the wide receivers involved because, yes, they have the best wide receiver core in the country. Ibuku, Jeremiah Smith, those guys, they are fantastic, phenomenal. So you got to get the ball out there. But Tennessee's got some good corners, man. They really do. So this is going to be a really good game. I got to lean. But I think this is going to be an all-timer. I think this will be a great game. Do you want me to go or you want you to go?
Sure, you can go.
I got to lean. I think at home, I don't trust Nico. I really don't. I'm going to go Ohio State as well. I think Ohio State wins this one, but again, close. Give me 31-28 Ohio State wins. Maybe last-second field goal.
Yeah, I think Ohio State wins this one. I'm going to say 30-20. 30-20 Ohio State wins. And Ryan Day keeps his job. I think he'll do it. I just think, I really think Ohio State's a lot better than people will think, and I think they just were written off way too much. But, he deserves it all. He deserves it all.
That's true.
I really don't like him that much. He's getting close to, like, the James Franklin, Brian Kelly,
I would say
Lincoln Riley.
I would say he's already there. I would say he's already there, in my opinion.
Give me, like, one or two more
year?
seasons, yeah.
Fair. But it's Bowl Mania, so we're going to get through these bowl games. 2 games, as of our recording, have been played already. Jackson State beat South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. Shout out Jackson State, still doing strong after Coach Prime. And then South Alabama beat Western Michigan in the Veterans Bowl. So I
watched that game. That was awesome.
Yeah?
That game was absolutely awesome. Just insane highlights. Just beautiful quarterback play. And, South Alabama, I think their quarterback he got hurt. And he wasn't playing. The backup came in and looked phenomenal. Western Michigan, they have like the best alignment in the country, and he was looking pretty good. And yeah, it was just a solid, fun game.
Nice. You want me to just
shoot him off. We'll say something. Yeah, this is Bowl Mania. This is it. Man, I think this was probably one of my favorite episodes last year. We just went every bowl game. We're gonna talk about them. Because they're fun.
They are fun.
Stick along for the ride.
Tonight, Memphis, 25th rank, a couple big win over Tulane, plays against West Virginia in the Frisco Bowl. For me, I think Memphis will win this one. I'm not really sold on what West Virginia's selling.
Yeah, Garrett Green has struggled towards the end of the season there for West Virginia. Fired their coach. They are getting reunited with Richie Rodriguez in this game.
Yes, that'll be fun.
It should be fun, yeah. But I think, Memphis is going to win this game pretty easily.
Boca Raton Bowl, what your Bulls ran last year, Western Kentucky versus James Madison. Western Kentucky will not have TJ Finley, that's for sure. Give me the Dukes.
Yeah, I think James Madison is going to win this one. They're looking for their first ever bowl win. Western Kentucky quarterback his name's like Valetnicamp or something.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the transfer portal, but he's going to play in this game.
That's what Tulane quarterback's doing too.
Yeah, for West Virginia. So,
Yeah.
I think this will probably be the highest scoring game out of all of bowl season.
Wow.
It's going to be like 45-43 or something like that. But yeah, James Madison comes away with it.
Cal versus UNLV.
Cal, man, both of these teams decimated, absolutely decimated. But I think the question mark is Ricky White going to play? I'm not sure.
Quarterback?
What's their quarterback? Yeah, is he playing?
Malik Williams
Because I think Mendoza for Cal transferred as well.
Where's he going to go?
A lot of people were thinking Miami, but now Miami wants the Washington State guy.
Why would he? You know what, Miami? You can take him. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think if Malik Williams can play and Ricky White play, they might beat Cal. So I'm gonna say UNLV with an asterisk.
I'm going to say UNLV too, because maybe playing's better than not playing. Cal's quarterback's not playing. Georgia Southern, Sam Houston State.
Yeah, give me Sam Houston in this one. They're looking for their first bowl win as well. And they kind of had a fun little, magical season. They haven't been the best team. I think they're going to win that one.
Give me Georgia Southern. Ohio versus Jacksonville State on Friday at noon. Oh, didn't Jacksonville State kill? Oh, those are both conference winners, are they not?
Yeah, Jacksonville State, who they demolished.
Yes. Oh, who's their coach? Oh, my gosh, who's their coach? He left somewhere.
No, Jacksonville State got demolished by Marshall.
Oh, yes, you're right. No,
Isn't
they beat Western Kentucky. Their Conference USA.
Oh, their Conference USA. No, they demolished Western Kentucky.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't bet against the MAC champs. I can't do it.
I'm going to do it.
I can't do it. I can't bet against the MAC champs. Give me Ohio.
I'm taking Jacksonville State. Screw you, Timothy Chalamet. Monday, Coastal Carolina versus UTSA. Both 6-16 Myrtle Beach Bowl. Man, I don't know. UTSA fall off is kind of crazy. Give me them, though.
Yeah, I think UTSA will win. McCown, man, had a solid year there. And Coastal Carolina lost a bunch of games down the stretch, so I don't think they're going to be able to hang. I think UTSA wins it.
Northern Illinois, New Mountain West team, eh?
I hate it.
Versus Fresno
I absolutely hate that.
Versus a future conference opponent, Fresno State.
Yeah, and you don't leave the MAC. You don't do it. That's America's conference.
Dang straight.
I'm
picking Fresno State just because of it.
I think I'm going to pick Northern Illinois.
The Idaho Potato Bowl, by the way. Thursday, we're sliding down to the Sports Bowl, the Game Above Sports Bowl. Yeah, we're getting really good with these names, guys. Pitt versus Toledo. Give me Pitt.
Yeah, I think, this could be a sneaky good game. Toledo, has been underdogs before, and they beat the brakes off of Mississippi State earlier in the year. Mm-hmm. But I think Pat Narduzzi, I want to say he's never lost to a G4 school while he's been or G5 while he's been at Pitt. So I think Pitt wins that one. But it could be a close one. This could be an upset. Toledo can hang. It's another MAC school.
Facts. The Rate Bowl, Rutgers versus K-State. Is K-State's quarterback still there? Avery Anderson? Did he go?
I think he's still there.
He's still there? Give me K-State then.
Yeah, it's going to be a rushing battle for sure. Who can outrush the other team? Because Rutgers, they're disciplined. They're going to run the ball. Kansas State will run the ball too. But yeah,
Greg Schiano.
It's hard not to root for him.
Hard not
but
to.
I think Kansas State wins.
Arkansas State versus Bowling Green. If I'm not mistaken, Arkansas State's quarterback's in the portal, right?
Probably.
I think he is. He's pretty good.
A fun season for Bowling Green. They got maybe the best tight end in the nation, Harold Fannin Jr. They're going to be fired up for this game. I think they beat Arkansas State.
Yeah, give me Bowling Green too. The Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, Navy versus Oklahoma. I love the midshipmen, but give me the Sooners.
Yeah, man. I was absolutely shocked about the Army-Navy game.
I was pretty shocked too.
I thought Army was going to roll, and Navy just looked like a great team led by their quarterback Horvath, and I would love to pick them against the Sooners. Love seeing the Oklahoma lose, but yeah, I think Oklahoma wins. I agree with you there.
Georgia Tech versus Vandy, Birmingham Bowl. Give me Georgia Tech, man.
Yeah, as long as those.
Pavia's in. No, he's not.
Is Haynes King going to play though too?
But I think they're back. Philo's pretty good, bro.
Philo's
He came
decent.
in, yeah.
Yeah. I think Georgia Tech has that one.
I
yeah.
think so too.
I don't know if Vandy can stop that
Georgia
rushing
Tech's,
offense.
they're playing good ball, man.
Mhm.
Texas Tech I was in Liberty Bowl. Texas Tech, Arkansas. Is Bowman playing? I saw he declared for the draft, and it's like, bro, put the fries in the bag. Oh wait, no, Texas Tech doesn't have him anymore. What? Who did they have? Bowman was Oklahoma State, but he was at Texas Tech at one point. I'm just getting confused. Give me the SEC team. Give me Arkansas.
Would it be crazy if I think Texas Tech wins this game?
I don't think so.
Would it be crazy to say that?
Spread's -1 Arkansas. So
give me
we're
Texas
tight.
Tech. If Taj Brooks plays for him too, their dog running back. They might have a chance. They got a lot of guys in the transfer portal, but I want to say Arkansas has a lot of guys in the portal as well.
It's possible.
I think Texas Tech can win this game. I think they might do it.
Give me Arkansas. Syracuse, Washington State, the DirecTV Holiday Bowl. McCord's not playing, is he?
I think it's unknown.
I think it's unknown.
It's unknown.
Well, I know he's going. I think he's going to the draft. So we'll see. Give me Syracuse. Their coach said their players don't opt out, so maybe he's not opting out.
Yeah, well, Mateer, the quarterback for Washington State, he hit the
gone.
portal.
Yeah.
He's gone. I think Syracuse, they've had a fun season under Fran Brown for the first year, and they really want to get to 10 wins, and I think they're going to make sure they do that. So that might mean that McCord plays. I don't know, but I think they want that 10th win, and they're going to do it.
USC, Texas A&M, Las Vegas Bowl. I think, why do they always send SEC teams out to the Las Vegas Bowl? Let's stop doing that. Texas A&M wins this game.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M wins this game.
Marcel Reed, baby.
Yeah, especially if he plays. But, hey, Jaden Mavia might be the truth. He kind of looks like the Polynesian Caleb Williams. It's kind of like how Miller Moss came in against Louisville in, what was that? What bowl was that? I think that was the L.A. Bowl. It was Louisville and USC last year. Miller Moss came in and looked like the truth. Maybe that'll be the same thing for USC.
Didn't Miller Moss go to Louisville? Is that not what happened?
Yeah, he did.
He did. Yeah.
He did.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Saturday.
Texas A&M wins for sure.
Fun little thing. UConn, North Carolina, two basketball schools are going to play at Fenway Park in a baseball stadium. Fenway Bowl, 11 a.m. UConn and North Carolina.
Man, there's so much hype around North Carolina. Bill Belichick is the head coach. I don't know how anybody could have missed that news, but, he's a new head coach in North Carolina. Not going to be coaching in this game, but neither will be the much, much older by 1 year Mac Brown. He won't be coaching either.
They kind of did him dirty a little bit, man. I feel a little bad.
Yeah, it's like he's too old. We want a younger guy for the program. Let's hire Bill Belichick. 1 year younger, they check the box. I don't know about North Carolina. There just might not be enough wheels on that wagon for them to get it done. And UConn, like I said, the smaller schools always want to play up. Mm-hmm. It means a lot more to them. Oh, man, probably North Carolina wins.
I think North Carolina wins too. Just too much momentum.
Probably
with Bill
Marion
Belichick
Hampton plays.
Maybe. Dog. Boston College, Nebraska, Pinstripe Bowl. Nebraska wants this bad. They really want this bad. They stormed the field when they got their bowl eligibility win. Mm-hmm. I think they win this game.
Yeah, I think this is a must-win for Nebraska. Must-win. They've had a lot of issues, though. We'll get to it in our portal and, off-season episode, but they lost their entire defensive staff, basically. A lot of defensive guys hit the portal because of that.
Oh, yeah, because they're all at
FSU. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if they can overcome it, but I don't know about Boston College either.
No Castellanos.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's that good. We'll see.
Oh, man.
This is tough. I think Nebraska can win it. I think they can do it. Rayola might be the truth. I think it's a must-win game for them.
They got to win this game, man.
Yeah, they have to.
They got to win this game. Louisiana, TCU. I'll take Billy Napier's not alma mater, his old team. Give me the Raging Cajuns.
But didn't their running back transfer though?
Give me the Raging Cajuns. I'm just rolling.
I think TCU's winning.
I am just shooting. Pop-Tarts Bowl, the most prestigious bowl game in all of America. Iowa State, Miami. I think Cam Ward's playing. I don't know. I do feel like Miami's going to lose this game, though. And I'm not picking them. I'm picking Iowa State. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm picking Miami. It's their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Magic Miami season, 20 years in the making, and you get to play for a micro or a toasted up Pop-Tart. What a season. What a season, guys.
Yep, and now you can get another Washington State quarterback and hope you get extremely lucky again.
No chance. Yeah, they'll win that, though.
The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Miami, Ohio, Colorado State. Give me Colorado State.
Give me Miami, Ohio.
All right.
I hate betting against MAC schools. They come to play.
Colorado. I'm a big Mountain West enthusiast, so I like the Mountain West schools. I think they play good ball over there. East Carolina, NC State. In-state matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. East Carolina, they finished their season off very strong. They had their interim coach. I don't know if they kept him, but they finished off their season strong, and I think that'll be enough. I think East Carolina wins this game.
They've had some portal issues. I think NC State wins.
Alamo Bowl. Underrated bowl game, the Alamo Bowl. Kind of always delivers. BYU, Colorado. We got conference matchups and bowl games now. Whoever decided that. I think Travis Hunter and Shadur are playing. BYU is the BYU playing, I'm assuming. Whew, that's a good game. It's a good game. I feel like Travis Hunter and Shadur are going to win their last game, though.
They're going to.
I think
they're going to ride off into the sunset.
Sco Buffs.
Yeah, they're going to win.
Louisiana. So this sucks, man. Marshall, lost their whole team, had to drop out. Now the American champion gets to play a 5-7 Louisiana Tech team. Army will win that game easy. Not even close. Kind of sucks. Hate that.
Yeah, that really stinks. You wish it was a better game. That's what I'm saying, man. Make the FBS playoffs off of the FCS model, and Army would be in the playoffs right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not. They're going to obliterate them. Would have been a good matchup, but I just can't believe that Marshall's had 28 players that enter the portal. That's just unbelievable.
Coach Lee for a team in the same conference.
Yeah, that really stinks for Marshall.
Oh, this is an interesting. Iowa, Missouri, the Music City Bowl. I feel like I always want to say Iowa isn't going to hang, but they always do good against SEC teams. But I'm going to take Missouri. Brady Cook. Last game as a Tiger. I think Missouri wins.
I feel like Iowa's a shoo-in for this game. It's either this or the Citrus Bowl.
When they played Kentucky last year in it, right?
Well, they played Tennessee in the Citrus Bowl.
Yeah.
And got obliterated.
But they played Kentucky a couple years
ago.
And then
the year before it was Kentucky.
Yeah.
They're like a shoo-in for either Music City or Citrus. That's just an Iowa lock. Yeah. But yeah, they're losing to Mizzou.
Outback Bowl. I'll never call it the Royal Quest Bowl. I don't care. Alabama, Michigan. Is Milroe playing? I haven't heard anything.
Milroe might play. So many guys for Alabama are entering the transfer portal. I think they're down to 4 healthy receivers.
Crazy.
I'm kind of surprised at the amount of turnover they've had so far in the portal season, which makes me believe that Michigan's going to win this game. I just think Alabama's going to be decimated.
Interesting. I'll take Alabama. I'll back them. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Louisville, Washington. I think Louisville wins this game. Pretty easy.
Yeah, Louisville should win that one.
South Carolina, Illinois. That's a fun game. That's a really fun game. Illinois has had a very underrated season. Both 8-3. The Citrus Bowl, Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. Give me South Carolina, though. This is a stepping stone season for them.
Lenore Sellers. I think they'll definitely win. Lenore Sellers must watch TV.
Absolutely electric. Baylor, LSU.
I just think this is another one. Baylor has had a sneaky good season.
I didn't realize they're 8-4.
They would have beat CU if it wasn't for a crazy Hail Mary. They'd be in they would have been in the Big 12 championship game, believe it or not. And just leave it to Brian Kelly to screw it all up. Give me Baylor in an upset. Give me Baylor in an upset.
Give me Baylor too, man. Let's do it.
And what on earth is going on with LSU? How are they getting so many guys in the portal? It's making me so angry.
They got a lot of money.
You're going to lose there. You're going to at best go 9-3, and you're going to hit the portal next year. Big mistake.
Gator Bowl, Duke trying to be on the rise. New quarterback coming in against Ole Miss. I'm sure Ole Miss is thrilled to play in the Gator Bowl. I think Duke's going to win this game.
Ah, man.
But no Malik Murphy.
No, well, I think he's buns.
He's not great.
He's buns, and I think Duke certainly has a defense to hang with anybody, But I mean, if the backup quarterback couldn't beat out Malik Murphy, I don't know. I don't know about his skill level, so I'm gonna take Ole Miss.
I'll take Duke, man. North Texas, Texas State. Texas State, I'll take them. I'll take Texas State.
This could be a high-scoring game too.
It'd
Actually,
be a fun one.
They both. I think like both of their last 3 games, each opponent has scored like 40 points or more. But I want to say North Texas's quarterback is in the portal. I think Texas State wins this in a barnstormer.
Okay, I mean, this is the most obvious pick ever. The Mayo Bowl, PJ Fleck. I mean, he's getting a Mayo bath. That's the most obvious thing to ever happen. I mean, I think Virginia Tech has like their whole team in the portal too.
Yeah, I can't stand PJ Fleck, man.
Really?
Yes. He's like James Franklin. It's the same thing. We're like, he's such a good coach. He's such a good coach. Well, he's done jack squat.
It's Minnesota.
He had that one. Okay, he's had that one magical season.
But it's Minnesota.
At Western Michigan. He did better at Western Michigan than he's done his entire career at Minnesota. Well, and it's like, okay, he's at Minnesota, but it doesn't seem like there's a bunch of schools calling him up saying, "Hey, coach at a school with more NIL money and more prestige."
I think it's a perfect spot for him. Like he can he could just like go 8-4 and everyone will be happy and maybe have like one crazy year. But I think
we treat him like he's like one of the best coaches in the business.
Well, I don't.
I think he's a bum.
I don't think he's a bum. I think he's just a
bald-headed bum.
I don't.
Who wears a goofy shirt and tie for every game.
Okay. All right.
Is he from like the Jim Tressel or whatever, the old Ohio State guy? Isn't that why he does? He like copies him or something?
I don't know.
I can't stand him.
I don't know, pal.
You could win at Minnesota. You're in the Big Ten. Like I find that so hard to believe that he can't go better than 8-4 there. He stinks. That's why nobody else is giving him a job.
Thanks for
There's
the
no SEC school calling him up.
Well, I think he's in a good spot, man. Like, I think that's just the spot he needs to be in.
Then we got to acknowledge him as being mid.
I don't know,
or a
man.
bum. Liberty and Buffalo, the Bahamas Bowl.
Yeah, Liberty Buffalo.
Oh, man. Liberty, what a fall off. And
they lost a quarterback, right?
Yeah, Salter's in the portal. I don't know where he's going to end up. I thought it was going to be Louisville. And Miller Moss went there.
I don't think he's that good. I think he's overrated.
Yeah, well, this is a thing because I think by far.
I watched him live in the Fiesta Bowl last year. It wasn't great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on, man. Bo Nix. They were trying to get him that like completion percentage record. So they were going to they were going to pass as long as they could. I wish that game was better for
I do too. It was like Liberty came out, scored on their opening drive, and I was like, Fiesta Bowl magic, let's go. And it was nothing. It was nothing, man.
Yeah. No, but I just think I hate doing this because I hate like disparaging conferences. But Conference USA sucks. And Liberty, like, it should have been easy to go 12-0. Easy. And then you could have argued about like why you deserve to be in the playoffs, blah blah blah. Even though we knew like the conference sucks, but hey, 12-0, undefeated. You're in a New Year's Six Bowl last year. Arguments could have been there, and they screwed it all up. And Salters looked terrible. And for most of the season, Buffalo, man.
I'll take Buffalo. I love the jerseys, man. That's about it.
A MAC school.
Dang straight. Love the MAC. So that's it?
Yeah, I believe that's it, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to predict, New
second
Year's
round,
Six Bowls and stuff.
Second round. Oh, well, because we'll have TB3U. I think we should
have like 3 or 4 more eps. I think.
Well, we will talk about it either on the main episode or we'll talk about the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about the playoff throughout the whole of it. Oh yeah, we will. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening. Down below, comment, what your score predictions are for USF and for the Florida, the Gasparilla Bowl, the Hawaii Bowl. What are you guys thinking? Comment down below. Who is going to win the national championship before the playoff starts? Who is winning the national championship? For me, I got to take Oregon, but I think that there's a lot of good options. Parity. Comment down below who you think's winning the Natty. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends. If you're on Spotify, hit the follow button. Follow us on Instagram. We're pumping out content. Follow us on Twitter. That's instant live reactions to every Tampa Bay sports game ever. You get to know our instant thoughts right from the source, right from Will's brain. And that's a dangerous place, but it's pretty frisky and fun as well.
Dark
it's a
sometimes.
dark place. But anyways, follow that Twitter, follow that Instagram. Thank you guys for watching, and have a beautiful